When it comes to melanoma, the most serious kind of skin cancer, what you know can literally be a lifesaver. And understanding how it progresses, well, that's probably our most powerful tool. So today, we're going to break down the journey of melanoma, stage by stage.
We've all been there, right? You spot a new mole, maybe one that looks a little different, and you start to wonder, is this just a harmless spot, or is it something I should actually worry about? That simple question is so important, because with melanoma, every single moment counts.
So, just how serious are we talking? Well, take a look at this number, 7,650. That's the estimated number of people in the US who died from melanoma in just one recent year. It's a pretty stark reminder of why knowing about this disease is so vital.
So what exactly is melanoma? Well, it all starts in your melanocytes. Think of them as the little factories in your skin that produce pigment. You know, the stuff that gives your skin its color. It often starts out looking like a simple dark mole, but the real danger, the thing we have to watch out for, is its ability to spread. To fight melanoma effectively, doctors first need to know what they're up against. They have to measure its progression through a process we call staging, and the gold standard for doing that is a system known as TNM.
The TNM system is basically a roadmap of the cancer's journey. T stands for tumor. It looks at its size and how deep it's gone into the skin. N is for nodes. It checks if the cancer has reached the nearby lymph nodes, which are kind of like the superhighways of the body. And M is for metastasis. This is the big one. It asks the crucial question, has it traveled to distant organs?
Okay, so using that TNM system, doctors assign the melanoma a stage, from 0 all the way to 4, and each stage tells a really different part of the story. So let's walk through it, step by step.
We start at stage 0, which is also called melanoma in situ. Now, in situ is just a fancy Latin term that means in its original place. And that's exactly what's happening here. You've got abnormal, potentially cancerous cells, but they are completely contained in the epidermis, the very top layer of the skin. They haven't gone any deeper.
And this, right here, shows the incredible power of catching it early. The 5-year survival rate for stage 0 melanoma is pretty much 100%. At this point, it's highly treatable, often with just a simple surgery.
Now, in stage 1, a cancerous tumor has actually formed, but it's still small and it hasn't gone very deep. The most important thing here is there's zero evidence that it has spread to the lymph nodes or anywhere else. It's what we call a localized cancer.
And the outlook? It's still excellent. We're talking a 5-year survival rate of over 99%. As long as that cancer stays put, the prognosis is fantastic.
All right, in stage 2, the tumor itself is getting a bit more serious. It's grown thicker, it's dug in a little deeper, and it might have even broken the skin's surface. But, and this is a huge but, it still hasn't spread anywhere.
And get this, even with a more advanced tumor, the survival rate is identical to stage 1. Isn't that incredible? It really proves that the single biggest factor isn't just the tumor's size, but whether or not it has started to travel.
Stage 3, this is the turning point. This is a real game changer. It's where the cancer has made a significant move. It's escaped the original spot and has traveled into the lymph system. And once it's in those lymph nodes, it has a VIP pass to a network that connects to the entire body. And this is where you see the numbers change dramatically. The 5-year survival rate plummets all the way down to 68%. That's the first major drop we've seen, and it shows you exactly how dangerous melanoma becomes the second it starts to move.
And that brings us to stage 4, or metastatic melanoma. At this most advanced stage, the cancer has used those highways, the lymph and blood systems, to reach distant organs, like the lungs, the liver, or even the brain, and it's starting to form new tumors there.
The 5-year survival rate now falls to just under 30%. And that sobering number really reflects the huge challenge of fighting a disease that is spread throughout the body.
So we've walked through the stages one by one. Now let's put them all together, because when you see these numbers side by side, the main message becomes absolutely undeniable.
This table really tells the whole story. Look at that cliff. As long as the cancer is localized, stuck in one place, survival is nearly perfect. But the moment it hits the lymph nodes, the rate drops by over 30 points. And when it reaches distant organs, it falls another 38. The takeaway couldn't be clearer. Location is everything.
And it's not just one way of looking at it. This data from the American Cancer Society groups things a bit differently, but it shows the exact same pattern. Whether you call it 68% or 71%, the story doesn't change. Once melanoma spreads, the odds shift dramatically.
Understanding the stages is so important. But this knowledge isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. So let's shift from talking about the what to the what you can do.
If you need any more motivation, just remember this. Melanoma can become life-threatening in as little as 6 weeks. That is not a lot of time, which is why paying close attention to your skin is so incredibly urgent.
So here's a super practical tool anyone can use. It's called the ABCDE method. You check your moles for A, asymmetry, B, an irregular border, C, varied color, D, a diameter larger than a pencil eraser, and E, and this one is so important, evolving. Any mole that is changing size, shape, or color.
And finally, your prevention toolkit. It's simple, but it's powerful. It really comes down to 3 things. Wear sunscreen all the time. Use clothes that protect you from the sun. And most importantly, if you see anything that fits those ABCDEs or just feels off, get it checked out.
This whole journey through melanoma stages teaches us one really clear lesson. The difference between a 99% and a 30% chance of survival, it's not some complex new medicine. It's time. It's simply catching it before it travels. So we'll leave you with this question. When was the last time you really looked?